hidden signs that a man likes you. In this video, we'll talk about how to determine a man's affection. What indicators can help you understand that a man really has feelings, that maybe he's afraid to ask you out, afraid to invite you somewhere, or afraid to confess his feelings. And the first thing to notice is that he becomes nervous and excited when you're around. That is, when you appear, the man begins to behave somehow unusually. That is, he may, for example, look tense, or on the contrary, he may joke too much. If in a normal situation he, for example, is mostly silent, then, seeing you, he starts joking, trying to attract attention to himself, as if making an impression. And he might also stumble over his words or forget what he wanted to say, which again is a sign that he might have a crush on you. Why does this happen? Because he wants to make an impression and he worries about how he looks in front of you. And that is why, forgetting words, stumbling, all these changes in behavior in your presence can indicate that the man has sympathy for you. Further, he often just happens to be nearby, like, do you enjoy grabbing coffee during lunch at a cafe close to work? And he also fell in love with this cafe. You have some kind of meeting, for example, or some kind of meeting. He sits down next to you and you drive home and he accidentally ends up nearby and he, for example, needs to go in the same direction. So if you see a man more and more often, this may indicate his interest. A man, when he becomes interested in a woman, begins to learn as much as possible about her. And he increasingly wants to be around her. And this is definitely a sign to consider if you keep running into this guy. Next, his gaze. He might often look at you and then quickly look away. So you lift your eyes, maybe you work in the same office, and you see him looking at you, then he quickly looks away. Or maybe, on the contrary, he doesn't look away and just stares at you for a long time. A man is where his interests are. And if he likes a woman, he just can't help but look at her. He can't help but be around her. And that's exactly why there can be long, lingering glances. And that's why he might look at you and then look away. These are all signs that a man might be interested. The next sign is body language. If you're talking and the guy leans in towards you like he's trying to hear you better, and you notice that his knees and feet are pointed in your direction, that can definitely be a sign of attraction. That is, we are often turned towards what we like. This is how a man shows his interest. And also here, if a man accidentally starts to straighten something for you, accidentally touch your hand, remove hair, straighten your clothes, this can also indicate his sympathy. Well, of course, when you look at the whole picture, if you notice certain things and realize that there are multiple signs, then you can conclude what a guy feels for you. Next, he is interested in your life. For example, you told some story and he heard it. And then he asks, what was the continuation? What happened there? And how did you, for example, pass the exam or something else? That is, when a man is interested in a woman, he does not forget what she says, and he always needs a continuation. He becomes interested in life. He starts asking about hobbies. He starts asking what you like, what you do, what food you enjoy, that is, what food you prefer. He starts to learn everything about you because he is interested in you. A man who is just chatting, just maybe some kind of buddy, friend, or colleague, these moments are not necessary and not important to him. But if a guy is trying to get to know you better, like he's studying your habits, your tastes, and your interests, he'll start asking for your opinion at certain moments. That's another subtle sign of his interest. Next, compliments. Pay attention if a guy gives compliments not just about your looks. If he compliments your intelligence, for example, your taste, your knowledge of something. When a man is interested in a woman, he pays attention to everything, both her looks and her inner qualities. Men can idealize women, too. He won't always do that, but he'll praise her looks and qualities briefly. If she bakes an impressive cake, he'll rave about it. So it's not like he's going to shower her with compliments, but he will give compliments about both her looks and her inner qualities. For example, she baked a cake, and it wowed everyone. So he'll be raving about that cake, and he'll genuinely enjoy it. So pay attention to the compliments, and he'll notice the details. Well, for example, you changed the color of your manicure and nobody noticed, but he did. For instance, you got bangs or trimmed the ends, and he noticed. You changed your hair color a bit and he noticed. A man can notice all these details only if he is very interested in a woman. If a woman, let's say, isn't that important to him, he might not notice anything at all. So that's something to pay attention to as well. And one more thing, he tries to make you laugh. He jokes in your presence and tries to cheer you up. A man has this basic instinct to make a woman happy, to entertain her so she feels better. So if a man is trying to make you happier for no particular reason, it might mean that he already sees you as a potential partner next to him. So if a man is trying to make you happier, just like that, then perhaps the man already considers you as his potential partner. And this is already his contribution, let's say, to your future relationship. That is, if a man does something for a woman, he does it for a reason. A man doesn't do anything for a woman just for no reason. That's all I have for this video. This was me, Elisa Vardomska. I hope for your likes and subscriptions. Leave a comment about what you'd like to discuss in my new videos. Don't forget to hit the bell.